tell me the story of how you not knowing in middle school that Nate Tiny Archibald.
That's what I was about to say. Like
not knowing he was who he was.
So I go to I get out of elementary school. I go to junior high school. So I go and our gym teacher is in there. And I'm like, I'm coming in. I'm doing all these fancy moves. And he's like, hey, come here. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, hey, you need to really be focused. Like, you need to really take this serious. Because he see, like, I got the moves, but he see I don't understand, like, strategy. I'm just playing one-on-one, no matter where I'm at. And he's like, man, you need to be focused. And I'm like, man, this old dude, man, get the fuck out of here. Like, who's this old dude think he is? You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm saying it. And then I'll never forget this dude named Sean Arnold. They used to always tell me to watch tapes. So I was like, all right, I could watch tapes, get some moves. So I got this tape called Below the Rim. And it had Tim Hardaway, Kevin Johnson, Magic, Jason Kidd, all that. So I'm like, okay, but then in the middle, it had like, went back in the days. So I had like Pistol Pete, Tiny Archibald. So at this point, I'm like, the reason why it messed me up, because at this point, it ain't like it is, like I said, it ain't like it is now. I'm like, if somebody makes it to the NBA, then I'm like, oh, this dude rich.
Right.
You know, I'm young. I'm like, yo, he rich. Like, there's no way this dude is working at my school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, there's no way, because, you know, I'm like, at school, like, teachers ain't making no money, gypsies ain't making no money. I'm like, there's no way. So he's in there. So I see the tape, it go in the middle, and it say, like, Nate Tiny Archibald. So I'm looking, I'm like, man, he look like the guy at my school. So I go to school for like a week. I'm not saying no, I'm just looking at him. I'm just looking at him. So then I'm doing stuff on purpose. Like, I'm doing stuff on purpose to see if he say something. Like, I'm dribbling, just doing whatever. And then he's like, hey, you want me to show you something? I'm like, oh, man, you can't show me. So then I stopped, and I was like, hey, do you got a son named Tiny Archibald? You know, because at my school, his name is Nate. So I'm like, hey, do you got a son named Tiny Archibald? And he's like, no. And I'm like, man, I saw this tape, this guy looked just like you. And he was like, yeah, it's me. And I'm like, no way. I'm like, it's no way. I'm like, dude, come on, man, stop. I'm like, there's no way you're Tiny Archibald. And then other people was like, yeah, you didn't know he played with the Celtics. I'm like, no way. I'm like, man, I thought like NBA people.
You have another level of respect.
Like, what was that like epiphany for you?
Yeah,
like,
so it was just like a shock. And then like at the good thing about it, it was like so humbling, because I was like, you know, from my perspective, I'm like, yo, he rich. He ain't got time to be dealing with no kids like us, whatever. But he's just used to volunteer after school. You know, I'm thinking he's just a gym teacher. He used to just come like help and do stuff for the school. And I'm like, man. And then after that, me and him was like inseparable. Like, he used to always like teach me stuff, talk to me about basketball, all that. And then that's when it like kind of clicked to be like serious about it.